Okay, for sale is my 1974 RX4. Still the original paint. Pretty decent for a 46-year-old car. It does have its flaws, dings, and there's some nicks, small surface rust. The major dent are these two on the fender wells, on the rear fender well. And that's about it. The rest of the body is pretty clean. Small nicks with I have the emblem for this one. Again, the body's pretty clean for a 46-year-old. Again, it's not a show car, but it's clean. Paint chips, a big paint chip over here. It's clean. Car will come with some extra stuff. Front bumpers, rear bumper. I have an extra front grille. I believe I have extra windshield trims, extra door handle, extra tail lights. I have the original suspension for the front and the rear. I have the two-piece drive shaft. Right now it's sitting on different suspension. Front suspension is from a GSL SE. I have RE Speed coilovers and our RE Speed top hat on it, as well as the bump stops. The rear suspensions is from a Celica Supra Mark 1. It's non-LSD, but you could put an LSD on that. One-piece drive shaft. What else? I have MR2 Tokiko Blues up front on the suspension. This one has an FB brake booster. I have a direct fire ignition. 3 MSD blaster coil 2s, MSD blaster 2s. 2 for the direct on the leads, and 1 hooked up to the distributor for the trail, as well as the I have an MSD 6A ignition. The engine on this one was replaced by the original owner back in 1985 when it had 27,500 miles. Right now the car has 77,600 something miles, so the engine is about 50,000 miles, give or take. FC fuse box, FB booster, electronic ignition, FB. Let me see, and it's direct fire, of course. S4 alternator, Mazda Tricks dual pulley, aluminum radiator. 2100 16-inch Jegs fan, 2100 CFM, Jegs fuel regulator, Weber 48 IDA, all jetted. I have the list on the jetting. I just forgot what I have right now. Fuel bowl adjusted, and I did the progression hole mod to it. So what else? Aluminum radiator. Now let me see what else here. FCNA exhaust. I have a Racing Beat resonators, two of them, and a Racing Beat universal muffler with a turn down. So number one resonator, and then number two resonator. In the rear muffler, it's a universal Racing Beat with a turn down. I relocated the battery in the rear. It's a new battery, 1020. Breaker, very important. Carter fuel pump. Replaced it. Usually I travel with two spares. Emergency stuff, hoses, belts, whatnot. Let me see. I made this bracket. Again, battery's new. Jack over there. The only major rust on this car is on the trunk. Looks like water leaked here before, and it stayed on the mat that was glued onto this one, so it caused some surface rust. Around the wheel, where the wheel sits, or the spare wheel sits, there's surface rust. And the only major rust is this hole right here that I made a hole. The rest is surface rust. This is surface rust. Okay. Taillights are clean. Rear bumper is clean. It will come with extra taillights, extra bumper in the rear, extra front bumper also. Let me see. All the original suspension, the rear diff and the front diff. But you're gonna have to change the brake line thread if you're gonna put back the original. And the body's pretty decent for a 46-year-old car. Definitely not a show car, but it's a runner. So driver's side. I have a K&N filter if you want to put it back on. I had this on when I used to daily drive the car back when I first got it in like around 2009 to like to 2011. I used to drive it a lot, especially to work, because I had a garage in San Francisco, and I was able to garage it. So after my work lost the garage space, that's when I stopped driving it to work. You can put this back easily. Right now I just have the horns in there. What else? So 13B RX5 5-speed. I have the original 4-speed that will come with a sale. The shifter is from a B2200 that I had to put in there because the shifter from the 4-speed did not work with the 5-speed transmission. When I bought the 5-speed transmission, it did not come with a shifter, so I had to do a junkyard run, try to find out what worked, and finally I found out that the B2200 shifter worked on the RX5, and I had to change some of the selectors in there. It was a pain in the ass. What else? I think I mentioned the engine was changed at 27.5 by the owner. Again, I have all the paperwork here when that happened. Here's a core return tag, engine warranty stuff, all the receipts when the when the engine was changed. So it was changed 5/22/1985 at 27,526. And this was done at Paul Snyder Mazda. I don't think that exists anymore. I have some receipts here. Some of the car stuff. I don't have the radio anymore. This is for the AC. Service coupons. Some receipts. Owner's manual if you need it. That's the owner's repair manual. That's the workshop manual. These are the owner's manual. I had the AC on this one caused short, and it burned a lot of wiring inside, so it was a mess. I took it off. The compressor I still have, and some of the electronic stuff for the AC. It was a mess, so I took it out. It caused a lot of some burns towards the fuse box inside. So I had to replace the fuse box and some of the wiring inside. Took it off. So I have the condenser, the compressor. I have all the lines also for the AC if you want that. You can rewire it, but I'd recommend to go to another like a newer company that provides aftermarket AC systems if you want to put that on. Here in Northern California, we don't need AC, so. Plus, it looks nasty with that compressor in there. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, body-wise, the car is pretty clean. I mean, it's 46 years old. You're not going to expect a show car. Suspension's been changed to 4x114. GSLSE up front. RE speed coilovers. RE speed top hat. RE speed bump stop. Rear is Celica Supra 4x114, and that's from a Mark 1. A solid piece drive shaft. I have the two-piece one with the sail. Door panels are clean. The driver's side and the passenger side, although they look their age. Driver's seat has a rip here and a rip here. The dash has 2 cracks, 1 and 2. And on the metal surface over there, there's like a surface rust. You can easily polish that or repaint over that, excuse me. And fire extinguisher is a must if you have a rotary. Whenever you travel, you need it. Dash is clean, not perfect. The radio bezel, previous owner cut it out. They put an audio Vox in there. Piece of junk. I have an extra bezel that will come with the sale, and it still has all the holes and whatnot for the original radio if you want to put it back. Change the fuse box. Passenger seat is clean. It's old, but there's no rips on it. Side door panel and the passenger side is clean. That one has 2 small rips on the rear passenger side. Carpet's still original, but it's old. Looks clean though, pretty clean. Bottom part of the back seat is clean, no rips that I see. But the back part of the rear seat, the top where you lay your, or where you rest your head has cracked and dried up. So the top upholstery is pretty clean, no sags. Only issue is I see is right there, that gap right there. That's about it. The visors are still staying up, decent. So again, original RX5 steering wheel. That's about it. Yeah, excuse me. And this car, I run premix. I took out the oil metering pump, so now I can run a synthetic. Oil pan weeps, that's fixable. I'm too lazy to fix it, but there's a weep in there. What else? So FC fuse box, FB brake booster, S4 alternator, Mazda tricks, dual pulleys, racing beat oil cooler lines, stock oil cooler, aluminum radiator, 16-inch jegs, 2100 CFM fan. What else? Rectifier. And this is the only thing that I painted, is the engine bay, because it was dirty. It was a mess. Plus most of the paint was peeling off. I have pictures of that. FCNA exhaust. I have 2 racing beat resonators, number 1 and number 2. I think that's 3 inches, and then it goes to a 2.5 rear universal racing beat muffler with a turn down. And that's about it. What else? Car runs good, starts right up. Usually I just warm it up for about from 30 seconds to not even a minute, and then you can go. There's no choke on the Weber, so you're gonna have to play with the gas when you first start it up when it's cold. Pretty much it. Body wise, clean. There's nicks, and there's one. The only major dent is this one and that. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned 14x7 front and 14x7.5 rear Watanabe Type A's, 195/60/14 Federals. These have less than 100 miles. I have these extra. I think I have these extra, or maybe the front. I have to pull them out. But I have some extra trims, extra tail lights, tail light covers anyway, extra front and rear bumper, and extra front grille. All the original front suspension, the rear suspension I have, and the 2-piece drive shaft, and the 4-speed transmission that will come with the sale. Other than that, and that's about it. This car's for sale. Had this for 11 years. And that's about it. Car's clean. And thanks for looking, and hope to hear from you. Again, 74 RX4, yellow, original original paint. Thank you.